Welcome to Rom Wills, Money Matters. Thoughts about the fashion industry. And these are just general thoughts. I was just thinking about that. I'm gonna tell you what, the fashion industry is always a good industry to make money. And now you might not make $1 million, but you can make something. You can make something. Because I've talked about that. I remember when I first started this channel, I talked about like the t-shirt industry. Trust me, it's an oversaturated industry, but depending on what you had, you can make money. Indeed, I was in there briefly. Yes, I had 1,000 jobs, you know. Well, technically scores of jobs, but still, I might as well say 1,000. I actually had a t-shirt line. I thought about for this video digging out one of the last t-shirts I had from that line. And I'm still looking towards having different t-shirts, especially with the programs they have on YouTube where I can just, have people just get it directly and everything. And in fact, I have an idea for one. I have a saying I've never said, never seen. It's a saying I've had for decades, and which I will actually legally trademark before I put it out. But for t-shirts with that, but that's in the future, and that's a supplement. But I was actually in it. I had a line of sportswear. I started with. And I was, looking back at it, I would say the biggest issue I had really was I still had to work a regular job. Had the publishing business, just really committing to it. That was the biggest issue, just the time. But it actually sold. I made some money with it. Had shirts in a few local stores. So, and it was just a simple concept. I'm not going to say it. Might bring it back. Might bring the sportswear back. I even had a couple models who could have modeled some stuff for me. Oh yeah, I was jumping into it. Oh, like I said, the biggest thing was I was still working full time, still had the publishing business. Just the time, literally the time. But here's the thing. People are always looking for something. And see, one thing with the fashion industry, I don't see it like as really a competition. I really don't. Like, if you really think about it. Like, okay, y'all probably seen my other videos, especially on my other channel. I'll have like a Calvin Klein Henley on. I have some Lacoste shirts. I have some Ralph Lauren shirts, both polos and button downs. Just got this nondescript shirt on. I'll either have this is a regular Van Heusen, or is it? I don't know. Anyway, I also got some, Tommy button down shirts I'll wear on here. And I got a lot of different styles. See, one thing about it is somebody who's really into some fashion, people might say they're competing, but somebody can wear different styles, even nondescript styles. It's just a matter of, does it fit what they're doing? And then when you talk about like maybe t-shirts or something, then that, everybody can wear multiple t-shirts. And then even with the shoes, like the sneaker industry and everything, even the subculture, you got a whole subculture around that. And I'm gonna tell you what really made me think about fashion. There was a book I had. It was like one of those journals. In one of my many jobs, the building I was working in, they had a government bookstore. And I remember I got a book out of there, and it was a journal type in it. There was an article in that journal, and I wish I had saved that whole journal. But it had discussed that the fashion industry was actually a strategic industry. And I was like, man, and that was a few decades ago, but that blew my mind. It means a lot. And if you think about it, a lot of fashion, it makes billions. There's a lot of jobs created and everything. And when you come down to it, it comes down to a human basic, clothing. Nudist colonies and nudist beaches notwithstanding, people have to wear clothes out here. People have to wear clothes. And really, when you think about it, even clothes can even make a statement. And it can make a big difference because where you getting the clothes from, where they being manufactured at. That's a big business. That's a political thing, Some people might put tariffs the politicians can put tariffs on clothing that's made in, I don't know, China or something, or made in Vietnam, you know, wherever, Mexico, wherever. But it means a big difference because you got to get the material to make it and everything. And it touches so much. And it's something, if you have the right designs, depending on what you have and what crowd you get into, you can make money. And there's so much there. If you think about the fashion industry, think about it. I mean, you got the textile industry. You got to manufacture the stuff. You got to get the material. You got to have the workers for it. You have to create it. You have to get the raw material. You know, whether it's cotton or, you know, the fancy stuff, wool. Well, you got to find a bunch of sheep. So that's touching there. And then, wow, think about it. Okay, you got to have the manufacturing. You got to have the logistics to get it from wherever they were manufactured to, you know, the States or wherever it's going. And shoot, that's part of the supply chain right there. Just the logistics of moving around. Okay, jobs. You got to get them to the retail stores and all of that. You know, it's so many things. And then, you know, you got businesses related, like the whole modeling industry. What are they doing? Like, models are basically walking hangers. They're walking hangers. But you got a whole industry just to model the clothes. Most of the clothes which the average person don't wear, but that's kind of an entertainment thing if you really think about it. So that's touching entertainment. So it's like, wow, just the simple act of wearing clothes. And then, you know, depending on the culture or something, or the social class, it means something. You know, if you in a C-suite or something like that, you working in a corporate environment, well, you need like durable clothing, good clothing. You know, it means something. Or if you're working in a blue-collar environment, I mean, you got whole clothing lines, they strictly for workers. They are strictly for workers. You know, it's so much there. And I'm going to tell you what, anybody can, if you have a good design, or not just a good design, but tapping into a good demographic who might like your designs, you can make money. I've met quite a few fashion designers. I have a good lady friend. I mean, real sweet. Anybody who follows me on IG, you've probably seen 3 or 4 pictures of us together. And trust me, every time we see each other, that's like a normal thing. I'll probably see her in March at this expo, and that's a normal thing. Get the hug, get the picture. We know the deal, you know. But she has a whole line of clothes. You know, I mean, and it's just so much there. It's so much there, and it's so much there. And you know, you got the retail establishment. So much just around that basic act of clothing, because that's one of those things everybody needs, no matter what. No matter what, it's just a question if they want your particular design. That's it. And shoot. And you know, when I had my sportswear thing going, which I might fire it back up, or I don't know, maybe give it to somebody, maybe start the company and let somebody else manage it or something, you know, just own it. But you know, still made some money, still made some connections. And these are just thoughts. So anyway, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.